Hello everyone, welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online. Here's Gnarlo here. Say hello to everybody. Gnarlo. Good boy. When last we left off, we were inside here in the last homely house. We had just come over to talk to Bilbo Baggins about our legendary quests. We have been given, since we hit level 39, had been given the task of finding out about the legendary burglar books from Miss Alba Lobanks, and she had sent us back over here after we had bought the very expensive books. I wonder if she gets a kickback like other university professors do. We were sent back over here to talk to Bilbo, and we've got all those pages we've got to find over our next some odd couple dozen levels to see if we can complete the books and get the skills. So in the meantime, we are going to go riding back to Thornhad in the Trollshaws. There we go. Wondering where my horse was for a second. And we are going to continue working on the quest results that we have over there. The Perfect Feather. We're going to go and try and find the Scout. And we shall perhaps work on Book 4, Chapter 2, the Missing Scout as well. So we're going to head back off that way. And once we get closer back over to Thornhad and the outpost of Elrond's sons, we shall rejoin you. So we shall see you there. Okay, everyone, we found the Hendrival nest here. As you see, we are on a spike of rock looking out here. Right down there is the Ford of Bruinen. There's the winding road. The little bonfire remains are right about right there. And essentially you come on up, and instead of following the road up around the curve as it goes on into the Trollshaws, you take the first right here past the ford and just follow it on around into that little valley and around this little spike of rock and right on up here to the top where the cliff is looking down. And here's where the Hendrival nest is. On the map, let's see, it should be right there. We are right up above, right between the R and the G, just up above it there. So let's go ahead and collect. There we go, we've gotten the Perfect Feather, so we'll bring that back to Arod. I'll go ahead and mount up. And I'll head back down and show you how we got up here. Just a couple of stalkers to watch out for. Plus it is nighttime, so there's a stone troll hurler right there. You do have to be careful of them. The trolls are out. They have replaced many of the bears and the wolves at this point. So just keep your eyes open for them. Let's try to get back around this stalker here. We will go right back to the road. There. And I said that right yonder. Just right there's the remains of the bonfire, and right there you can just see in the darkness the two sandbars in the middle of the Ford of Bruinen where it crosses the Horwell. So we are going to continue back generally westward, with a few little southern twists like this. Generally westward, back over toward Thornhad and the outpost of Elrond's sons, with a quick detour by Arod's little camp up there on top of the hill while we're at it. So we will talk to you when we reach Arod, probably. Let's dismount here. We have once again reached Arod's camp overlooking the path through the Trollshaws. There's that stone troll we were riding up on. We just turned to the right up the hill here. Y'all know how to get here. We got here once before. He's our little lovesick, emo, Justin Bieber haircut elf who wanted the perfect feather so that he could give it to his would-be mistress. You have never seen a feather as beautiful as this. His would-be mistress, who, love is quite unrequited.
Sweet-eyed Malin.
This is a beautiful feather, Gnarlo. I pitied the bird that fell to the talons of the Hindraval to yield such a feather. But the memory of it shall be venerated when this feather is worn by my Gnarlin. This feather will be an excellent addition to my gift, for I have decided what to make.
Greetings, friend. Will you lend me your ear?
Lilies in the valley. I have decided to craft a necklace for my elf maid, Gnarlo, and though the feather you brought me is a fine addition, it is not yet enough. Lilies grow along the banks of the Loudwater, the Bruinen to the east, and any of them would be pretty enough for an elf swain to give his love. Mine is no ordinary love, Gnarlo, and these white lilies will not be enough. Only a mauve lily of unsurpassing beauty will be lovely enough for my elf maid. Look for one somewhere along the Bruinen, and carefully. Lilies of such a shade are exceedingly rare. All right. Arod, you are getting to be a pain in the butt. You know, it's kind of like with Aragorn proving his worth to get the Silithane to Gwendeth, the water spirit who was protecting it over there in Anuminas. Much the same here. Y'all read I'm sure y'all have read the story Roxanne, or seen the movie Roxanne, or Cyrano de Bergerac. That's what I'm thinking of. Cyrano, the story, seen the movie Roxanne, or any of the other versions of Cyrano that have been made over the years. There's a good one with, I think, Gerard Depardieu, and of course the movie Roxanne with Steve Martin. It's like, why have you got all these people who want to prove themselves to beautiful women by sending other people out to do their bidding? I tell you right now, in this situation, if this elf maiden decides that to mistake the affection as coming from me, since I'm doing all the work, I may not be disabused to set her straight on that matter. Not for at least a week or two, anyhow. Now, we're down here in the fords of Bruinen. We have gotten down here back to the Loudwater, the Horwell. And the lilies that we are going to be looking for are down this way. I believe they are off to the left here. The problem being is that there are a good number of those bog lurker type creatures who protect them. As you see here, the tanglers, and if I remember correctly, the ones that protect them in this area, let's go ahead and cloak up. The ones that protect them down in this area are bog lurker trapper type things. Yeah, as you see, the blooming fins. It's got all the flowers and all. These are the ones that will root you in place, and while they've got you rooted in place, attack you at distance. Like I said, I'm thinking that those lilies are supposed to be in this area. May be wrong, because I remember my dwarf getting trapped by these suckers once before, whenever he was the correct level to be out here and be adventuring. He came over here, and these things conned about this level to him. They were all dark blue and all, and some of them I think were kind of whitish. and didn't think they'd be much of a much, but the next thing you know, he was wrapped in vines by these tanglers and all, and getting his ass handed to him. And they did a very good job of it too. I ended up respawning at one of these rally points around here. Okay, it looks like we have failed. We were mistaken. This is not where the lilies were. But there you go. You've seen what the blooming fins look like now, and as I said, be careful, because not only do these tanglers attack you like the roots of the old forest, but you have all these fin creeper binders, these bog guardian types, and they will root you in place and then stand back at a distance and slap you silly with their roots and things. So we are going to continue searching along the banks here of the Bruinen, of the Horwell, and see if we can't find these lilies he's looking for. And we're already running into these yellow and orange river toads as well. They are also a nasty group, because as you see, they come in groups. You've got the main one, who's in this case orange, the green river toad, and you've got all their minions, the yellow river toads, who will attack you at the same time. So I'm going to continue searching the banks, trying to avoid the root crawlers as well, and all the yellow and orange conning dragon lizard thingies. What are they called? The crawling rockworms. And continue searching for these lilies, and when I find them, I will see if I can't show you where they are. Okay, we have traveled a long ways down the Bruinen. I'll show you where we are exactly here. In fact, I've been down to this point and down here to the point where I've actually entered the next zone to the south, a region, and then had to start working my way back up. I do see a circle on the map. There's a ring up there, which may represent what we are looking for, although that's awful high. Let's get up there and see. That's a long ways from the river for it to be a lily, I would think. But let's see what we have up there quest-wise. If it's some sort of scout or something else of that sort. Large footprint is what that is. And yes, that is a very large footprint. Good grief. Alright. Let's go ahead and click on it. Giant footprints. Level 43. This deep impression appears to be the footprint of a giant. But where did he come from and where did he go? There may be more footprints nearby that can tell the tale. Search for other footprints near the first. Alright, well, we will go ahead and gain that quest. It is an orange level. And just by the direction, I think, yep, there's some enormous ones. Something to say, I think it's going to take us away from the direction we need to be heading in. Not to mention, it's caused us to run into this crawling rockworm here. Some of our book. There, we got the trick on them, so we're going to use our heal. And the heal never stuck, so the trick never stuck, so we were never able to get the heal going there. It's the danger when you're fighting some of these yellows and oranges. Another enormous footprint in the soft mud of Tal Bruinen. And they just keep leading us further south. Those are some big footprints. Close examination of this footprint reveals a brooch of elf make embedded in the mud at the bottom of the crater. If you can, you should try to return the brooch to its owner. Okay, so we've collected the lost brooch. And now we need to bring it back to the owner. I don't guess there are any more footprints that we have to follow, because it doesn't say anything about following them. We're just lucky that the elf who was the owner of it, is not at the bottom of the footprint. Well, I don't know if we're lucky. I guess he's lucky he wasn't at the bottom of it. One less elf? Okay, back down to the river. And let's see if we can follow along the banks, or we might more clearly, whoops, we didn't hurt ourselves, might more clearly find those lilies down here near the water. So let's continue our search. And I'm thinking, yeah, we'll go ahead and talk to them at the cottage here too. This is what, Garbert's cottage, Garbert's cottage. There we go. And Mr. Garbert and his wife over here. The elves are very nice to us. Candleth comes to visit on occasion. I wouldn't say that too very loudly with your husband standing right over there, ma'am. He is a good, as you see, a good vendor if you're in this area. Back in the days when your vendor trash and all over here filled up your inventory instead of the little bag, he was a very good one to have, because he's about the closest vendor anywhere down in this section of the river, unless you wanted to ride all the way back over yonder way to where some of the outposts are. Let's see what he has to say. This land has always been my home, and it always will be. Ah, nice. Bert, Tom, and Bill.
Can I spit with you a moment?
Many years ago, my grandparents lived in a quiet village not far from here. It was a peaceful place, and they were very happy. But one day, 3 monstrous stone trolls came to the village and caused great destruction. My grandparents fled, and eventually my grandfather built this cottage here on the bank of the Bruinen. His son lived in the cottage with them, and I was later born here. I grew up and took a wife, and my parents left me the cottage when they passed on. Erfanen and I have lived here ever since. I have always wondered whatever happened to those 3 trolls. Bert, Tom, and Bill they were called, and the names send shivers down my spine even today. I'm sure they must have come to a bad end, being trolls. But if you can find where they ended up and learn the tale of their undoing, I'd be very glad to hear it. So we need to find someone who knows the fate of Bert, Tom, and Bill, and then we need to find Bert, Tom, and Bill. And I think I know exactly who we need to go talk to about that. Alright, so I think that's where we're going to stop here on the banks of the Bruinen. And next time, we will continue up the north on the western bank, continue following northward, see if we can find that missing lily for that emo elf. And at the same time, once we get up there to the north end of it, see if we can't make a quick detour over by Rivendell once more, and see if we can't find someone that might know about Bert, Tom, and Bill. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and we will catch you again next time. Bye-bye.